by Stands Auto Repair. I'm actually on location at Advance. As you can see, all this debris, I had bought the gold version that they sell here, but due to my job, what I do up and down mountains and everything, the brakes just didn't handle. So I've upgraded to Frontline, which are actually police issued brakes, and there's the part number. And as you can see, these brakes are coated for heat resistance. So I'm gonna get these bad boys installed on here and see how they work. All right, y'all, this is just a quick video. Thanks for watching, and always remember, like, subscribe, share the video, and if it's broke, fix it. The video Stands Auto Repair. Oh boy, this vehicle here has given me quite a few videos in just one day. Oh my, I'm definitely gonna have to get a yeah, nasty. Anyways, wheel bearing. You can kind of see the tire shake. That's it's an old trucker trick. See, that wheel bearing is no good. But anyways, which is kind of good because I needed a new stud anyways right here. But let's go ahead and get this bad boy jacked up, get it on a jack stand, and get to her. Lug nuts. I'm just using what came with the car. That you know, if you had to change a flat tire to put on your spare, I'm just using that. And I'm actually using the jack that came with the car. If you're working on kind of soft ground, to where like the weight would push your jack stand or your jack down in the ground, just get you a couple pieces of wood, a nice thick piece of plywood, just slide it underneath there, and then you can use that to get the car up. Or if you have, you know, a piece of concrete, like a slab, concrete slab, something like that. But you just want to make sure you're safe, and always set your emergency brake. If your emergency brake does not work, use wheel chucks. Next, loosen your axle nut, which mine was a little tough to get off. I was able to use my half-inch socket breaker bar. Then I had to break down to this to use the rest. I am using a 36, but if I remember right, this is a 34. I just don't have a 34. I have everything else but. I have a 32 and then a 36. But the 36 worked. Get your castle nut off. Kind of blow some of that corrosion out. And then what we're going to do is put this on backwards. Loosen up the axle. As you can see, the axle is nice and loose. If you're in a corrosion state, it is going to be a little bit more difficult to get off. If you're wondering what that is, these are police brakes. All right, next you need to do is remove this. You don't need to remove the caliper, but to make it easier to get off the rotor, go ahead and go inside here. Get away from me, sweat bee. With a stout Phillips head, flat head, and if I can get in there. Loosen up your caliper. That way it'll come off easier. And then this bolt here and this bolt here are 15 millimeters. Break those free, get them loose. Then have you a bungee cord or something to get your caliper up out of the way. The little screw that holds on your rotor, which is a T27. If you're wondering what that is, that would be this. And I kind of try to keep things organized, like, you know, got your lug nuts, and then your castle nut, 15 millimeter, so forth, so on. And you can take your rotor off, set it to the side. All right, next endeavor is to remove this bolt here. Then you come over here to this side. You got a bolt here, and then you got a bolt right here. See if I can even get it right here where my finger is. Right there. So those are the 3 bolts you need to remove. But first thing you need to do is get this clip out of the way. Get you a pair of needle nose pliers and pinch that, pop that out, then unclip it. 3 bolts are 13 millimeters. I had to make a funky concoction because so this is a 1/2 inch socket to a 1/2 inch to 3/8, and a 3/8 extension to a 13 millimeter. That's how I had to do it. You may be able to just use a 3/8, but to have enough room, extension next to the axle, that's what I had to do. As you can see, you got to get past this part of the axle. The upper part, this upper bolt right here, is probably going to be the pain. I couldn't use my 1/2 inch. I had to just go down to the 3/8. So that's working just fine. And I'll let you know for this one up here what I had to do to get to it. Right below the knuckle, I did have to use this just so I could break it free, because the handle on my 3/8 is a little short to get the leverage. But I also had to increase the size of my little socket here. So I had to get my longer one out just so I could get back behind the shock, so I'd have room to get it. I have all 3 out, just so I don't end up losing it. If you live in a corrosion state, you may need to use a little pry bar to get it off, but I don't live in a corrosion state, so you just pull it off. Probably going to have to tap the axle, and then boom, off she comes. All right. And just to make this video shorter, putting it back on is the same. The only thing that you need to do is clean your surfaces up, clean your bolts up, get all that off so they go in smoother. These do require red Loctite. And you can always tell on a lot of bolts that need Loctite, they'll have some left over, and yeah, you'll need that. I watched a few videos and they did not mention the Loctite. You definitely need that, because the last thing you want to do is your wheel bearing to get loose, because as you've seen how easy that was to take out. And by looking at this one, let's go ahead and get this out, and then we'll look at it, see why it failed prematurely. You can see you got a wider gap here, and then it gets really close over here. I don't know if you can hear that, but the bearings inside are shot. Man, look at all that rust. All right, let's go ahead and pop the new one. There's the new, this one has a year warranty on it. That's the new one. Cost me $108.15. You can get it cheaper. Oh, look at this. Step-by-step instructions in color. So it just kind of explains the tools you need, everything. It has in English, has it in Spanish, and I think that's French. Yeah, French. So it's French, Spanish, and English directions. But anyways, I didn't need those. And you won't need them either. But here's the new one. Do it, compare next to each other. There you go. See how the gap around here is even, and see that there's actually this rubber. So this one is actually still has the rubber on the inside of it. This one, the rubber's gone. So that's probably where it started failing, is when that rubber disappeared. There you go. And you can see there's kind of a little bit of a difference between the two, but things always improve over time. This is police quality. I believe this wheel bearing is just a basic wheel bearing that you would get on any 06 to 2012 base model to LT, but this one's more beefier. I'm pretty much upgrading everything on this vehicle to police quality. I do have that's a steel control arm. I got a police control arms coming for both sides that's made out of reinforced aluminum, which is a and also it's heat treated, and they're a lot stronger. Plus it's, you know, having aluminum frame also is going to take some weight out. But these brakes here, I have a video I posted up on these brakes. Go ahead and check them out. But I will tell you, these brakes are fantastic. I'll tell you, I hit my brakes and I think I'm going to stop like I did with my previous brakes on it. No, normally I'll stop maybe you know, enough room to where you could put a couple motorcycles between the car in front of me and the car behind me, but I stopped like I normally stopped, and I was literally a whole car length behind since I upgraded to the police brakes. I also have the front line, so I got the front line and the front line on the back, and these are actually what they run on the cop cars. All right, enough of that, because I don't want this video to be too long. All right, just in case you didn't get that part number, there it is again. All right, and remember, if it's broke, fix it. This is the Loctite you'll need right here, and just get you one of these little brushes so you can clean up the mating surface and also the inside of the knuckle where it slides into, and then clean these bolts up. It's really all you got to do. I mean, you can clean these bolts if you want to also. These ones over here. It just makes the, you know, the process of inserting stuff a lot easier. All right,